The U.S. Supreme Court agreeing to take up Mississippi's near ban on abortion, setting the stage for a ruling that could alter decades of decisions in the U.S. That is our top story on this Monday night. I'm Rob Nelson.
And I'm Marnie Hughes. It is a polarizing issue that divides much of America. Mississippi's push to ban most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy would be one of the strictest in the nation. And while it does not directly overrule the 1973 case Roe v. Wade decision, supporters of abortion rights say it is a direct threat to the landmark ruling that women have a constitutional right to abortion. Pro-life Americans say unborn children should be protected. The court isn't expected to hear arguments until this fall, but it is already drawing a lot of attention to an ongoing debate over this issue, especially with the conservative edge on the high court. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves will join us live in just a minute with his reaction. But first, News Nation White House correspondent Allison Harris is live in the nation's capital with the very latest. Good evening, Allison.
Good evening, Marnie. The stakes here are very high. A decision could change women's access to abortions across the country.
To stand up for the innocent life of children that are being aborted in the womb.
The stage is set for a major Supreme Court ruling on abortion.
I don't understand what you're saying. What?
A decision that could change nearly 50 years of precedent and drastically restrict a woman's right to an abortion.
For the court to walk back on that freedom would be a cataclysmic and society-changing event.
The court will review a Mississippi law that would ban abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Justices will consider whether abortions before viability, considered to occur at roughly 24 weeks, violate the Constitution. Just a year ago, the court struck down an anti-abortion law in Louisiana. But since then, the court has secured an even stronger conservative majority of 6-3 with Justice Amy Coney Barrett. During her confirmation, Democrats criticized her past personal opposition to abortion.
I don't have an agenda in that regard.
Many people were sort of left guessing as to why they decided to take it up now, but certainly Justice Barrett has made clear her opposition to abortion.
The Center for Reproductive Rights is leading the challenge to Mississippi's abortion ban on behalf of the only abortion clinic in the state.
Watch every day our patients are going through so much to even try to have access to abortion. It's unconstitutional. It's like a shot in the back to women.
The woman who runs the clinic says undermining Roe would be devastating and could trigger anti-abortion laws in more than 20 Republican states. Planned Parenthood says that this year alone, state legislatures have introduced more than 500 abortion restrictions in all 50 states. Arkansas just banned nearly all abortions, including for those impregnated in an act of rape or incest.
Hi, everyone.
Today, President Biden's spokeswoman reaffirmed his stance on abortion.
Critical rights, like the right to health care, the right to choose, have been under withering and extreme attack, including through draconian state laws. The president is committed to codifying Roe.
But many conservatives and anti-abortion activists believe abortion laws should be left up to states.
There will be continued cutting away, chipping away at the right to an abortion federally, because again, it is an issue for the states themselves to determine.
This case will be heard in the fall when justices return from summer recess, and there's already a major gun rights case on the docket to be heard next term.